Good evening, my friends. Today we're gonna talk about. Let's just talk about like what is going on in the world. Okay, uh, I was watching that Olympics thing where the guy came out and he made an apology. Well, it wasn't even an apology, but basically the guy who coordinated the Olympics show with all the transgender and transvestite and homosexual people and whatever they did. That was just kind of crazy. But the the guy, he came on and he said in France, he's like, we're free. We're free to love whoever we want to love. Uh, and but he emphasized on the word free. We are free here in France. And then I remembered this word out of Psalm 2. It says, "Why are the nations so angry? Why do they waste their time with futile plans? The kings of the earth prepare for battle. The rulers plot together against the Lord and against his anointed one. Let us break their chains," they cry, "and free ourselves from slavery to God." And I realized, I said, man, what that French guy is saying. He's saying this right here. He's fulfilling this prophetic psalm out of Psalm 2. He's saying, we are free from God. Like, we don't have any boundaries on our lives. There's nothing that restrains us from doing as we please and desire. If we want to be homosexual, we're homosexual. If we want to do whatever it is that we want to do in our nation now, the lawlessness, this is lawlessness, okay? Lawlessness. That's what it says in Matthew, because lawlessness will abound, the love of most shall grow cold. The lawlessness in our hearts is a freedom from God and being free from him. But there is no freedom from God, okay? You have to serve God. The thing created by God has to do what God created him for, it for, her for. So we don't have a choice. But what's beautiful about it is, even though we have no choice but to submit to God, uh, and and we're not free to do as we please ourselves. We have to deny ourselves. We still truly only find freedom in God because he's good, you know. He's a good God. He's a good Father. And even though he owns us and our lives belong to him, it's not like a burden. It's not burdensome. It's very freeing whenever you come to him and you experience the grace and love of God. But I wanted to point out uh, that the world, they want to be free from God. In America, the lawlessness, that we see, just like we saw in the Olympics, where they're saying we want to be free to be able to do what we want. We have transgender people, who are saying that they, can be whatever they want. We have people fighting for abortion. They want to be able to do whatever they want. Women want to be able to have sexual relationships outside of marriage and not be held accountable for those things. If they get pregnant, they don't want to be responsible for the children. They want to be able to sacrifice that child on the altar of their own convenience and their own freedom to do as they please on lawlessness and rebel against God. They want to be free from God. So this is a lawlessness we see in our time, and we shouldn't be surprised. But God laughs at them, okay? And we shouldn't expect not to see these things in our lifetime. That's why we have to be free from the political thing. Like, listen, the world is just going to get worse, but we shouldn't be surprised. We shouldn't try to fight them. This is the only life they have, okay? Like, if a homosexual wants to be homosexual, I'm going to warn them and tell them that this is an abomination before God. And if someone wants to commit an abortion, I'm going to tell them, hey, this is murder. But if they want to do that, I'm not going to fight for that. I'm going to warn people and tell them that they're sinning against the Most High God. But if they choose to do that, I mean, this is the only life they have, like let them be free from God like they want, and they'll find that freedom to actually be what enslaves them in the end. Amen.